Welcome to the Point Noted podcast with your host, Johnny B, and co-host who shows up whenever he wants to, former NFL player, Rashad Barksdale. It's raw, unfiltered, and no topic is off limit. We talk sports, entertainment, culture, and a whole lot of random shit. Let's get to the point.
This is a Point Noted podcast, and I'm your host, Johnny B. Hey, y'all, what's going on, man? Listen, man, Rashad's not here today. He out there tripping, sleeping, not sure what he's doing. But I got a really special friend with us today, man. I got a friend of mine hopping on here just to fill in and show us some love, man. Hey, man, y'all give it up for my man, OC.
What's up?
What up, OC?
What's up, man? I appreciate you having me on, man.
Man, what's good, man? How you been, brother?
Chilling down in Florida, trying to stay alive.
You're not going to the beaches out there and catching viruses.
Nah, man, that's not something I want to do anytime soon. You know,
man, why your state so crazy, man? They're doing crazy things out there. Y'all got crazy people, crazy weather, crazy storms. Now you got crazy falls going to the beach. Can y'all just chill? Can y'all get off the crazy pipe? What's up?
But actually, to be frank with you, man, a lot of the folks y'all seen on TV, those were like spring breakers. Those kids were like out of the Midwest, you know, never seen a beach. We locals, we're not out there per se. And most of us have, if you know, you're connected a little bit, you probably have a friend who has his house on the beach. So you kind of have a little bit of a private feel, you can still get that without exposing yourself to like the really, really touristy parts of town. So a lot of what you guys have seen on TV is they're not really locals, man. A bunch of them kids came from all over the country.
So we should blame your governor. So we should blame your governor then, right?
Well, he's not helping matters. That dude, without going too political, is definitely he's more in it to kind of make, you know, number one look good. He's trying to make POTUS look good. So
right. And POTUS, you mean Donald J. Trump, the president, right?
Well, you know, he who will not be named. Yeah,
Charlemagne Nameless. Charlemagne Nameless. I heard that.
Yeah, that dude gave up his New York residency, so he's officially a Florida boy.
Right.
But yeah, him and the governor over here, man, they locked in arms, man. So
yeah.
It's a long-term play between those two. Just keep an eye on that, man. Trust me.
Right. That's why you always out there on vacation, huh? Playing golf and doing all that.
Yeah, he was just at the White House.
Man, that's where I need to be, man. I need to meet some new friends, bro. I need to be out there. I don't want to meet the crazy though. I just want to meet the friendly ones, the one with that connections. You know, I need some connections in my life, man. Cause Rashad ain't connecting me. Pete's my boy, man. Pete give me all the connections. Shout out to Pete, man. We shout out Pete every show.
For sure.
That's our guy, man. Congrats to Pete, man. Just had a baby boy. You know.
I think I saw you hit him up.
Yeah. I hit him up on Twitter. Yeah, man. Shout out to Pete having a baby boy, man. That's my new nephew right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Different scheme, but you know, same love, buddy.
Hey, it's all love.
All love, man. That's what it is, man. All love, man. So you know what I saw today, man? Hey, actually, before we get to this, man, for those who don't know, so OC and I go way back, man. We used to, like, in our early 20s, we used to play tackle football back in 2004, 2005, when the boy used to be in the gym all day getting swole.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? We used to be out there Saturday morning, what was it, like 8 a.m.?
Yeah, man. We were always the first two there, too, because everybody else was on Nigeria time.
Yeah, they were all, man.
Or Caribbean time.
African time, some bullshit time. I get there. We got to get warmed up because, you know, we both play running back and, you know, linebacker. So
dude,
we got to be ready for quick catch like D Money and Ciroc the Rock.
I'm telling you,
you know.
Those were fun times, man. I love those pickup games.
Man, you know what's crazy about that though is after every single one of those games, man, my body's just big. Like, man, my body is big. You know, and I used to ride Rashad because you know you didn't get a chance to get to talk to him today. But next time we get you on, hopefully So he played in the league. So he's got this.
Yeah, what team is he on again? I forget.
Man, he was on, I think, the Ravens, the Chiefs,
Shoot.
well, maybe the Steelers or something like that. He was on like 3 or 4 teams, man.
Oh man,
Yeah, I know, man.
both sides of the Steelers Ravens rivalry, huh?
Listen, I'm still every time I go to his house, man. I just want to take some of that stuff. He's got some of these autograph stuff, man. It's got these TO balls and autograph.
Dude.
I'm coming up there. I'm taking some of that one of these days,
Let
man.
me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Nowadays, sometimes I watch football and I'm like, damn, them concussions and all that. But nothing quite like Ed Reed, Ray Lewis on one side. You got Palomaro on the other side. You got Big Ben. Man, are you kidding me, dude? What was that one? Hines Ward.
Hines Ward. Don't forget Hines Ward and the bus. Don't forget Jerome the Bus. I mean,
man,
that was a clash of the Titans, man. Every single time.
Was between those games, Steelers Ravens games, then Colts Patriots, obviously Brady and Peyton. Man, that was football for me, man. For real.
Yeah. Those were the days, man. Those were the days, man. So, but yeah, so y'all. So for y'all, that's how far we go back. We're talking 2004 or 5. Playing tackle football at 8 in the morning, just a bunch of knuckleheads. Testosterone driven, big muscle swole, just out there, just doing godforsaken.
Muscular for no reason, just muscular.
Man, listen, I will never forget. What's that boy named Ezra? I will never forget playing running back, and I'm running. And obviously, we have no pads, no helmet. We're just playing tackle football, just crazy, out of our mind. I remember I got the ball, right? I'm running, and I see Big Ezra. The dude's like, his bicep is like,
he's a big boy.
It's like half of my body, man. And I'm big back then. This dude just chasing me down, and it hit me so hard. I will never forget. Yo, this dude hit me so hard. I'm doing flips on the ground before. I want to get up and fight him. Like, yo, it's not
that serious, man.
Why you gotta hit me so hard? But you know what? Payback's a bitch, man. Because next year I'll put on extra weight. I was waiting for Ezra. Boy, I was waiting for him. And I knew what he was gonna do. So he was coming right through that hole, man, through the gap, running back. I came in there like Red Lewis, man. Woo, I put that wood on him. Can't forget it. Because no one ever hit Ezra. Because no one could ever hit Ezra by himself. But I remember.
Because he's big as hell.
Boy, I put his big ass down that day. I put his big ass down to the ground.
Listen, man. Everybody was living that gridiron life. Those dreams. Like, you watch games on Sunday, then you show up on next Saturday and try to do some of those, man.
Right, start talking trash from Sunday on. Like, we're gonna stop me next weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
All I got is my Peloton now, man.
So we got now. Got the mirror,
Peloton mirror.
I got my Corona beer. I'm just out here, just getting old, getting fat.
Hey,
gotta stay out.
I think I got one more Saturday in me. I think I got one.
For real? We gotta do that, man. We gotta do a reunion, bro.
Listen, man, I'm with it. I'll bring that. I remember decleating Ade a few times. Like, basically pick that dude off the ground with the tackle.
Keith, man, I think Keith almost killed Ade, man. I remember Keith Ade. Shout out to Keith, man. Out there in California doing his man, I was doing well out there. I remember Keith. And what was it? Keith and was his brother he came out there with? Man, they had Ade doing a spin in the air, bro. Like, no pads on. You tackle the dude so hard, both his feet was off the ground, and he's spinning in the air before he can land it. We all thought it was dead, man.
So fast, but, man, he didn't have enough, enough stones on him.
Yeah, he was just young and fast. But you know how it is, those dumbass kids. He's young and fast, man. Just like Ciroc, man. Just young, fast.
Oh,
used to make fools look like D used to make everybody look like a fool out there, except for me, of course, man. Because I come out there and I'm
get out of here, man. Get out of here. But I give you this: you are a natural born athlete. Shout out to that. All rounder, no doubt about it.
Bless up, man. I try to tell them, man. Francis, Ansis, Kunle, whatever his name is, still to the day trying to act like he's ahead of me in any sport. Tell him.
Yeah. Fast, big, strong, and you got a head for the game. Any game, really. So respect for that.
Hey, y'all heard it first, man.
But I
y'all
still put a hit on you, and you will feel it. You will feel it.
I don't feel nothing no more. I'm like Luke Cage, buddy. I'm like Luke Cage, man. I'm not feeling nothing. Go ahead, buddy. It's gonna bounce right off of me, man. I'm everything. I'm not even gonna sound bulletproof because some fool out there gonna try me, but no, I'm not bulletproof. I'm not. I repeat. I'm human.
You don't want them problems, man.
No, I don't want that problem. I'm human. So let's chill with it, man. So yeah, man. So OC and I go way back. You know, as you already heard the story, just kind of like vibing back and forth. So you know, we do a lot of catching up to day-to-day basis. Really, it's one of my dudes, man. We chat basically every day. So we just want to get on here and just so y'all can listen to one of our conversations. Yeah, for sure. See how, you know what I'm saying? See how we vibe, see how we roll. And as you know, though, with most dudes, you know, conversations always go from sports to entertainment to, you know, politics. Twitter got a lot of new politics, social media.
Yeah.
You know, so now we got COVID-19. And you know what I found out today, bro? So they got a thing called COVID tolls. You heard of that? Like
tolls, like TOLL.
No, TOES, tolls. Like you have symptoms on your feet.
Oh, I kind of saw that. I'm like, come on, man. I think I saw a headline about something like.
I just read about that.
Like it's a symptom. It's another symptom you can.
Pretty much, and a lot of young folks are actually having it. But one of the thread I read online, I think I might have sent it to you. There was some grown man too in there that said he had it, and they would say, "Listen, do not go to work tomorrow. Call off." But it's crazy because it's like, and not on your feet alone. Do you have it in your body, on your arms? It's like rashes.
Wait, what are we? Oh, rash.
Yeah, it looked like chicken pox, but it's COVID, man. It's crazy. Like this thing is crazy right now.
It's what I think is clear now is that originally the mindset was it's gonna come into your lungs, through your nose, into your lungs, and compromise your lungs.
Right.
And, you know, kind of reproduce in your lungs. So everybody was kind of watching for the lungs. But then we now found out, okay, maybe you can ingest it and it goes into your stomach.
Right.
Then you have like the diarrhea symptoms and all that kind of crazy stuff. Now we know it's also causing blood clots.
Right.
So like going into the lungs, causing strokes. Now a rash.
Yep.
So this mug is showing up in all kinds of ways, man. It's kind of just like a hacker, like someone hacks your system and like just jacks it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just spread itself and recreate itself and just turn into something else. It's just
just confuse your system, man.
Basically. So we really can't just look for one thing no more. Because when it first came out, and you know what I'm saying, like when I was having some chest problem, I thought I had, you know, COVID. So I keep looking for the signs because it tell you if you can't breathe, shortness of breath. Mm-hmm. You got dry cough, you got fever. Well, the biggest thing they kept saying was if you got fever. Am I correct?
Yeah, for sure. That's how it started. It was fever. Oh, flu-like symptoms, they said.
Flu-like symptoms, right.
Yeah, fever, cough. But, bro, this mug is showing up in different ways in different people.
Now it's everything. Like, I guarantee you, really, wait till the NBA season starts. You're going to see dudes out there shooting their ball talking about COVID-19. COVID-19. Soccer players out there missing PKs. COVID-19. Check his feet.
For real.
Check his feet.
For real. No, it's really, if you think about it, a lot of these symptoms are very similar to, not to go too crazy or too deep, but very similar to, when you had the HIV virus.
Right.
You were still kind of basically normal, but then when it moved and turned into AIDS, a lot of the symptoms those other symptoms, obviously not like losing weight and all that, but the other things like the autoimmune, it would compromise your system to so many other things. So this now is starting to do funny things like that, but it doesn't waste as much time. Like, it doesn't string you along at all. Like this mug, especially if you catch the lung type stuff.
You're in trouble.
It's a problem. Yeah, that mug
Yeah,
takes 14 days, 3 weeks. You out. It's crazy.
man. Just go straight for the jugular, huh? Not even
It's
playing around.
crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's unbelievable to live in these times, but
Yeah,
more
man.
than anything, it's just crazy to be here in these times, be in America in these times, but also be in America in one of its worst political times. Like,
Yeah.
yo, everybody's losing their minds left and right. Like,
Right.
yo,
Right. Right.
chill.
Right. Right. So speaking of that, do you think we need another third party that's like just as heavy as the right and the left right now, or should we just find a way to bring these two together and just make it like a no political system, like no party system?
No, I think what's clear is the two parties are being driven by two extremes right now.
Right.
You
That's true.
know, you hop on Twitter, it's two extremes.
Right.
You all the news covers, you got MSNBC on one side, super extreme. You got
Fox.
Fox on the other side, super extreme.
Right.
Now you got all these kind of websites popping up that are getting notoriety. You got Breitbart on the left. You
Right.
got all them Jezebel and stuff. Breitbart on the right, Jezebel on the left. Everything is about extremes. But the fact is, people like you and me, we know that we are, most people are in the middle.
Right.
So for sure, I definitely believe we need a third party that just, and the third party's got to come correct. You got to come correct.
Yeah,
In the sense of,
but how? Well, who can really lead that? Because right now, both of these parties are so strong, and they're like two heavyweights, right? So just a no name or just a random person, doesn't even matter if you're like semi popular, right? You have to be a heavyweight. We need someone like like a Donald Trump would have been perfect to start his own party, right? Just
you're right.
like
You're right.
someone with that kind of clout would have been nice to do it. So
You're right.
So we got to get somebody that has a lot of power and a lot of followers to really start something like that. Otherwise, they'll just be taking votes away from one of these two sides.
You're 100% right. I mean, let's be frank here. This election 2020 is high stakes, man. It's high stakes for everybody. It's high stakes for everything.
Absolutely.
But it's also probably the best scenario for somebody, a third party, to come in and make some noise.
Right.
I mean, if you think about it, we got two, I don't want to be disrespectful to older folk, but we got two 70-somethings, man. Like, if either of these two cats actually catch COVID, they wouldn't even be here in 2 weeks.
Right.
I promise you.
Right. They might not make it. Right.
They might not make it. Then these cats are old. You got Bernie. Bernie got a lot of energy, a lot of passion from back in the day. But I mean, I look at these dudes like, yo, like, y'all might not even live through this 4 years you're fighting for real.
Right,
like,
right.
Come on, man. Biden is 78. 4 years, 82 for real. So right now, though, there's a third party guy making some noise. Young cat out of Michigan. You might have heard about him, Justin Amash, whatever his name is.
Justin, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He's running third party. He's running third party. Seems like a decent enough dude, a thinker. But the problem is, Libertarian Party kind of scares people. People don't really know what they're all about. So it'll be difficult. So going to your point, you kind of need a big name, right? Like somebody who has some relevance, some sense to them. And before all this started, everybody kind of thought, hey, maybe Bloomberg could be that guy. But that mug had all that, sexual assault, blah, 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 blah. So in this day and age, you can't get very far. But keep in mind, people like Mark Cuban, that could be really interesting. You know what I mean?
Yes, Mark. Mark is a good one. But Mark also has a party, though, and I don't think he's interested in breaking that up.
He's thought about it a few times. I mean, like, Mark is not no Democrat or Republican. He's kind of in the middle. And he, business guy, so he does business with both sides all the time. You got to, your game, he has to operate on both sides. Your game is in Texas. That's red country, right? So you got to operate and know those guys. but he plays in a league that's definitely seems more blue than anything else. So
True,
he
true.
lives in both worlds. So that makes him a very interesting prospect. But Justin Amash could be really interesting too. People, I'm keeping an eye on him.
Yeah, but Justin Marsh might need to actually get a little more farther nationally for him to make some noise because
For
right now
sure,
it's too late.
for sure.
So if we're talking about not this coming election, but the one after, what is that, 2024?
2024, yeah.
Right. So if he can start prepping himself and gathering that follower, that fan base right now, I think that would be great. You know, we need something else where we can be like, all right. Because I remember last election, I speak to a lot of folks, and you know, they weren't willing to vote for this guy because
Or
they hate him more than they hate the other guy. So I'm voting for this guy. I don't like him,
right,
but I hate that guy.
right, right,
Right.
right.
So it's like
Best or
less of the
lesser
evil,
of two
right? It's
evils. Yep, yep.
right. It's like they're both evil, but I'm gonna vote for the one that I hate that I hate the least
Let
because I hate that guy. So I'm gonna
exactly.
vote for this guy, and I'm just like makes no sense. Like
That's why this is a very, very interesting time to see a third party candidate. I remember back in '92, um, back in Nigeria, my dad would watch nothing but CNN International all day, every day. So we kept up with the '92 elections,
I see.
and Ross Perot made a ton of noise. Y'all need to look him up. I think basically Ross Perot, self-made oil man, couple billion
Right,
dollars. He made a lot of
right.
noise,
Deep pocket.
deep pockets, and he was a thinker too. I mean, he
Mm,
didn't go as far as he could, but he made a lot of noise. I
right.
remember those three guys on stage in debates. But check this out. That at that time, what ended up happening is nobody knew who Bill Clinton was. He was some dude out of, governor of some small state, middle of the country. Nobody, Arkansas,
Right, from
for real?
Arkansas.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
So, but what was clear on that stage is you had two old cats and
Mm,
this young, cool young guy, and everybody, obviously, it was a Democrat. So, I mean, it was just easy. Then he started playing the saxophone on the Arsenio Hall show. Forget it. It
right,
was over
right,
with. This dude's
right,
too clean. He's too slick.
right.
And at
Came
the
hard.
time, yeah, he came, it was real, real package, like real charisma. So it was easy. And at the time, nobody knew nationally about, the rape issues and all that stuff. So it didn't even, he was just this clean young guy. And okay, so Justin Amash, as he's coming now, he's not nobody we know. We know he was strong enough to go against the Republican Party and say, hey, Trump needs to be impeached. I read all this stuff. He always goes through everything. Every decision he makes, every vote he casts, he breaks it down on Twitter.
Okay.
So he went through all the paperwork and said, hey, listen, this man did wrong. He needs to be impeached. And all the Republicans came for him. So he July 4th last year, he declared his independence from the Republican Party. So this is a different kind of dude, man. He's not afraid of nobody.
Right. And
And
he really think he can win too, doesn't he?
he has what he's trying to do. I don't know that he believes he can win, but what he's trying to do is articulate, like, listen, you crazy, you crazy. There's a ton of people in the middle. Let's focus on some real life solutions, not all this, you know, regular talking points everybody usually has. So he could be real interesting, man. He could be
So
real interesting. And again, the reason I brought up the Bill Clinton thing is I want to have this, you're going to have the same visual. If he somehow gets on the stage with Joe, who can't finish sentences anymore,
right.
and Trump, who can't help himself but lie every other sentence, and you have this young, fresh face looking dude who's talking some sense, man, people might be like, yo, like, let's give this dude a shot. So it could be a really, really interesting time. But the two parties are going to fight for sure.
So who was if Justin Marsh is running? Well, he's running, but So who is he taking the votes away from the most right now? Who will he be taking the votes away from? Is it Biden or Trump?
Well, what people are saying is basically should be it should be a high energy election because people want Trump out. Period. Right? But Trump
Some
has
people do.
this. Some people do.
Some people do.
Yeah. Let me articulate that a little better. Trump has a base that's never going to move. Right?
Not moving.
He's got about
Strong as ever.
strong as ever, energized, ready to go.
Yep.
About 35 to 40%. 30 to 35% of the voting public, he's got them on lock.
Yep. Solid.
Right? Solid. Ain't moving. Like he said the last election, I could shoot a dude in the middle of New York and I'm still gonna win.
Still.
You know what I mean?
Still
Them
here.
cats still here. And he basically did, man. Remember that grabbing them by the whatever? You remember that?
Grab him by the pussy, man. He said
happened.
it. He said it. You can say it.
That I
If
didn't know
you
if
say
your
it, you
show
can
was.
say it.
What, is your show PG?
Hey, man, this show is raw. It's unfiltered. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's off limits. You heard the intro. We out here talking straight. Go ahead.
I'll follow your lead.
Yeah,
but
let it fly.
So I'm just saying, like, it could be really, really interesting, man. If this dude could articulate some stuff, it's interesting times because check it. Another part of this thing people are forgetting is nobody can hold rallies. So yeah, Trump was really using the what you call it, these COVID conferences every day to kind of, hey, I'm the big boss, bully pulpit. Look at me, I'm running shit.
Right. But didn't he stop doing that? I think he stopped doing it daily.
He had to, right? Because they were lighting him up. The reporter started
light his ass up.
He's like, yeah, he came up on Twitter. He's like, it's not even worth my time because he wants it to be fanfare, but they giving him that fire. So he's like, I got to step back. So now he's not taking questions anymore. You know what I mean? At the same time, Joe, I got to say, you can see some level of cognitive decline.
Right.
He can't finish his sentences. He's having these video calls. He's like not finishing his thoughts. So the reason I'm saying this is neither Trump or Biden they can hold some big rallies and really make some noise, but they can't do that right now because of coronavirus.
Right.
So you got Justin, kind of that helps level the playing field for Justin because he's young, he's energized, he's smart. That dude's about to start jumping on interviews all over the place, and people are gonna be like, "Yo, why are we messing with these septuagenarians, man? Like, can we get some young blood?"
Exactly, which is what we needed. But why are we talking about young blood? But you do know who else is running, though, right? Jesse Ventura.
Who? He's coming back.
Yeah, running for the Green Party, man. Yeah, Jesse's coming back. So, competition, man. I know. Jesse's not trying to go away, man.
Here's what I'll tell you about Jesse Ventura, man. You got to respect that dude because he will never, ever bow to anybody.
Right. That's very true.
Ever. You know what I mean? Ex-governor, I want to say, was it Minnesota?
Yeah, Minnesota.
Yeah, that dude, ex-wrestler. That's a different kind of guy, man. Going from the WWE or whatever to the governor's house. Yeah, he's a little bit older now. I got to think he's got to be in his late 60s, maybe 70s.
Yeah, I believe he's in his 70s.
Yeah, so that goes back to the same thing. Like, yo, what are we doing, man? These dudes, if they were in the private industry, should be retired. What are we talking about, man? You ain't Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's not trying to get away. But I mean, I think it just sees an opportunity to get back out there and, say his piece.
Make some noise.
Say his piece to the national audience, because
with his raspy voice, just Ventura.
Yeah, exactly. CNN ain't gonna have him on, so he might.
It's gonna be interesting.
Right.
It's going because what would Trump have run on? Trump would have run on an excellent economy, The stock market. You know what's crazy though? You got stocks, I got stocks. Yo, bruv, the stock market was bananas today,
Right.
man. Money was made.
Oh,
Money was made today in the stock market. A lot of money
a
was
lot
made.
of money.
So when people got to
Hold up.
understand this, man,
I just
like
got to say this for the fuck. I'm rich, bitch. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I mean, money was made today, but the fact remains, only 20% of the population own any amount of stocks that make any
Right,
sense.
right.
Listen, man, the stock market. I want to make sure I have the right. This was the best day the stock market has had since 1987.
Wow, I got to go check my account. I'm rich.
1987, bro. So you got to understand right now, Wall Street and Main Street are completely because 30 million people are unemployed.
Yeah, that's a lot of that.
That's depression.
Yeah, that's big. That's big number right there. Every time I see that, I'm just shocked, man. I'm like just strike with grief, man. Every time I see that number, 30 million.
Johnny, that is 1 in 5 workers are unemployed right now.
Crazy, man.
And the stock market is doing great. So you got to understand the economy we're living through right now has left so many people behind. You got to understand this.
Behind.
The Rust Belt where all these plants used to be, and them cats, there's nothing going on down there. Coal Town, Detroit, man, all these cats, people are, it's a mess, man. So we really need all this left. I always say it like this, right? 2 wings, same bird. Them cats don't care, man. Dems and Republicans.
None.
We need a third party. We need the third candidate that can articulate some of this.
Right. Wow. Yeah. So Justin Amash, if you're listening, we're looking at you, buddy. You know what I'm saying? You've picked our interest. You know, we're reading up on you. We're following you. We're listening. Trying to see if it's going to be worth the vote, man. Because right now, we got Joe, we got Donald, and we're just trying to figure out which way we want to go. And it's always good to have extra options. I mean, I think it's better for the country to have extra options. More debate is good.
For sure.
You know?
But you asked the question, who's he going to take more
vote from? Right.
From? And it definitely is not going to be from that rock solid
Trump base. Right. Trump base is solid.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And here's the big problem. Here's the big problem for Biden. Dude is from Michigan. And Michigan is a swing state. Trump won Michigan, they say, by like 70,000 votes or something like that.
But he's not going to get it now, though, because Biden's going to get it.
Well, there's your problem. Because Justin is from Michigan.
So those two got to fight it out. Well, yeah, no, that's true.
So if there were just 2 of them last time and Trump won by 70,000,
right,
and then somehow this dude shows up and takes a bunch of votes, and you know the Trump guys are not going anywhere. No. So, but he dips into the middle and carves a little bit more out of what Biden would get. You got problems.
Well, you know what? Why not just make Amash the VP? Right?
It can't work.
He's young. You know,
it can't work.
I mean, I know he's got a little fan base, but you know,
it can't work.
He can't, huh?
It can't work. Nah, man. It's like putting a Catholic. Let me put it this way, right? It's like putting, Creflo Dollar.
Yeah, my guy. Shout out to Creflo, man. Keep making that.
All right, Creflo.
Keep making that. Keep making that money.
Keep making that money.
That's what
whatever.
When I hear Creflo,
whatever he's about.
When I hear Creflo, I just hear money. I don't hear church. I don't hear nothing.
Listen, when the man changes his name to Dollar, you know what he's about.
Yes, sir.
But so
the point noted dollar podcast. Yeah, you know what I'm about.
I hear you. So you put Creflo, it's like putting Creflo Dollar and a Catholic priest together and say, hey, you guys go make something happen.
Right.
It ain't gonna happen. Yeah, it's like water and oil. They can't mix.
Can't mix.
The things Justin Amash is about, Biden can't even speak to them things, man. It's like two different
Well,
things.
you know how
So,
old Biden is, man. He's still so tight and close with all his old beliefs and how he thinks life should
for
be in the
sure,
government. And I think
man.
that's the problem that we have. Look, Donald just doing what Donald does, but I think Biden just has these ways that can change. And that's a place, society.
Yeah.
Those things have to change. You have to evolve. And I'm not sure,
He has a big
I even get
problem.
the young folks to like support him. That's the thing I look at.
He has a big problem. He has a narrative issue. Like, tell me a tell me a story, right? That's what votes, getting people out to vote is about. Telling me
Oh,
a
he can do
story.
that. I mean, he can get people on his side.
He
He can
well,
do
he can
that.
tell a story,
Anytime so slow and
but
sad, everybody be listening, man. Just holding on to every single word. Like, not like Obama talking, not like a guy that can speak eloquently is going to do it. But he has a way of looking at
yeah,
you with that old soul and talking to you that makes the folks just be
yeah,
like, oh, man.
but he literally cannot finish the sentence. Not to mention the story. Like, yo, bro, this dude is slowing
Hmm.
down. So he definitely needs. He's got. Listen, this dude's got problems. Let's just be real.
Right.
I know most people are like, oh yeah, want to get Trump out. They might have chose the worst ambassador for this.
Hmm.
Peep this. First off, dude there's the cognitive issues. Second, the media ain't trying to pick this up. They're trying, they're kind of being shamed into it. But you got this Tara Reid lady who said, hey, this dude, he got me in the Senate. He kind of put his fingers up me and
Oh,
all
wow.
that.
Oh.
That's a problem. It's only going to get worse, right? That's going to get worse. Then on top of that, you got all these Bernie bros and Bernie girls who hate. They hate Biden. They don't even hate Biden. They hate the Democratic Party. So
they're not trying to have Biden.
we have a problem. We got a problem. So 2020 is going to be really interesting, man. That's why I think it's as good a time for a third party to show up and be like,
not
yo.
snatching votes. That's snatching votes. Come on in, make your case, be heard, be clear, make a point. If the folks ride with you, let's see what you got. But so we spent obviously last half hour now just talking straight up, just flowing into politics left and right. And one of the things I want to ask you, because I know you're a big Yang gang and you're a Andrew Yang guy. You had me following him. You had me reading about
Yang gang for life,
Yang
man.
Yang. You had me following him, and I'm about my money. So, and then when Yang started talking about putting $1,000 in my pocket every month, or $1,200 in my pocket every month, Rashad like to make fun of me and say I'm gonna do nothing but buy more Gucci with it, but that's not true. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I had plans, man. I was gonna be buying stocks.
That's what I'm saying, man. I was gonna get some more weight. I was gonna invest in that in the new Jordans. I'm trying to get a Jordan collection going. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start dancing with them. I'm gonna call it the new dance.
Hey, you got
So let's talk a little Yang, right? Now that he's not in the race, he's out of it. Are we still gonna get to the UBI thing? Am I still getting $1,000 a month? Because I'm voting. Whoever's gonna put that in my pocket, they're gonna get my vote.
Let me just tell you this, right? I'm gonna level it like that. Many people are like, dude, why are you like about this dude so much? It wasn't really about him as much as when you see a thinker, a visionary, someone who is, our politics right now in the US is about the past. These guys, left and right, they're talking about things in the past. Problems we should have solved in the past. They're talking about gun control. We should have been done with that. They're talking about abortion rights and this and that. Like, we should have been done with that. All this stuff left and right, the whole LGBT, we should have been done with that. Like, I don't care what you're doing in your bedroom. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's big.
We should that's like a non-issue. We got problems right now that these dudes ain't even thinking about. So when you see somebody who's thinking about not just problems for today, but problems coming, you got to understand you're looking at a visionary. Most people were sleeping on him because he wasn't blessed. He wasn't anointed by the DNC. So the media didn't carry him. But if they had carried him like they carried your boy, what's his name? Buttigieg, or
Yeah.
whatever his name was.
Buttigieg.
Booty jiggle. But if they had carried him like they carried that guy, he would have done very well. And that goes to what you just said, the UBI. Was he saying UBI? People are like, oh yeah, that's free money. That's
Free money.
People got to think. You got to think. It goes back to what I was telling you, right? Wall Street is decoupled from Main Street. Wall Street can make $1 billion and they're not going to increase Main Street's hourly wage. We've been talking about increasing the minimum wage to $15 for almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, Wall Street's been making billions. So what was the UBI going to do? The UBI was going to put a straw right into them profits and just start pulling them funds, sucking them funds forcefully out of all that money that tech is making, Amazon's making, Apple's making, that they was going to use a value-added tax to basically like start pulling that money into everybody's hands. So kind of lubricating the system. You know, whether you're at home, you're a caretaker, you're a mom at home, you still get $1,000. Right. What is that mom going to do with that $1,000? Yeah, she might get her hair done, but she's also going to probably buy some books for her kids. You know what I mean? She might take them to a new class, piano class, whatever the case may be. Hey, and when she does that, what's going to happen? Well, the piano teacher down the street just made some more money, right?
Put it back in the economy. Yeah.
That lubricates Main Street, because right now Wall Street's making money. Nothing's happening for Main Street. So that was the idea. And with the coronavirus, it's even more relevant than ever before. So the beautiful thing about Yang's run for the presidency is it shifted the conversation. Like before him, people could not even nobody was ever saying government should take money from this place and give it to everybody. You have to give it to everybody so there's no stigma. So even if I pull 100 million from Jeff Bezos at Amazon, I'm gonna still give him the $1,000, right? So when you give it to everybody, there's no stigma. There's no oh, you got it, I didn't get it, and then welfare queen, oh, you got it too, right? You know what I mean? So there's no stigma, but that $1,000 means so much more to that single mom than it does to the billionaire. You know what I mean? But it was a way of lubricating the system. And now with coronavirus, what are we talking about? Everybody's talking about UBI right now. So he moved what they call the Overton window on politics. Y'all gotta look that up. He moved the Overton window of what was politically acceptable. He took the hits because everybody's like, yo, you crazy, man. You can't say you're gonna give them free money. But he shifted it. So now there are people in Congress pushing for $2,000 a month for everybody.
That'd be dope.
As long as the coronavirus is happening, $2,000
for everybody.
Yes,
for real.
Yeah, because I mean, did we not just say 30 million people lost their jobs?
30 million sure did. You did mention that.
So you got people at home. You know, people look at what's happening in Michigan right now. Today in Michigan, people showed up to the state house where the governor was with AKs and all kinds of guns. You know what I mean? When I say that, you know kind of who was able to do that, because not everybody can do that. But them cats showed up. they were, they were, these dudes were stacked. And they can do that by Michigan law standards because you can open carry state. So, but what is triggering them dudes? Yeah, some people might say, oh, yeah, it's them MAGA folks or something like that. But really, it's people like saying, you got me at home, I can't feed my kids. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. So the government needs to step up because they've spent like $4 trillion on big corporations and kind of the financial markets to keep it fluid. But then they send like 350 billion to small businesses, and they send what, a $1,200 check to like if you made less than 75,000. I ain't gonna get that. You know what I mean? And my job might be just as affected as the next guy, even though my tax returns from 2018, 2019 look good. It doesn't mean I still have a job right now. So $1,200 ain't gonna do nothing, man. That barely pays the car now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. And right now everybody's not getting the unemployment, check because, like you said, if you make some amount of money, you're not gonna see that check. And you and I are probably in that bracket where we don't really get to see that check, which is why that's why I'm fascinated by the UBI, because it would be nice for everybody to get $1,000 a month or $1,200 a month. And like you said, what does that go back into? We're not getting this money and just putting it away. Folks have needs, folks have needs. Like I have extra things I would like to buy. Like I would like to change my car right now, but if I can get an extra $1,200 a month, that can pay for that new car note, right? Therefore,
and then people will be like, "Oh, why is Johnny? You're gonna give people $1,000 so they can spend it on their car? Who's gonna get that money? It's Ford, it's Mercedes.
It goes back into the economy, right?
Exactly. What's the money doing? What is that? What's Jeff Bezos is worth 100 and something billion? What's that extra billion doing for the economy? Not a lot. It's just sitting pretty, looking good. But if we pull that and we give it to the people will spend it so that the local laundromat is doing more business. The local liquor store, the local grocery store, the local bakery, everybody, because that money is coming back. Because so many of these guys are making so much money, man. It's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah. Let's put the money in the people's hands. That's why we got to vote for the right people, man. We got to vote for the right people. Put the right folks in the office so they can make the right moves for us. It's crazy how you make this vote, right? They cry and scream and add and come to your neighborhood and send posters and everything to get your vote. And then you put them in the office. As soon as they get there, you no longer matters. What matters is the lobbyists, the people that put money in their pocket. Because now that you're there, they ignore you for the first 3 years. And then come back when it's election time again and tell you, oh, remember that bill? Remember that bill I did for you?
Exactly.
No, fuck that bill.
You've been to them dinners, right? You've been to them dinners with the mayors and them dudes are about that life, man. They're about that money.
Absolutely. Looking good. What is it? Nancy Pelosi's worth like what? 30 mil? Doing what? Doing what?
Yeah. So the other day she's like on one of these. Their play is this. This is their play.
Right.
The Democrats. They get all this shine with Hollywood. Like Barack be out there. He's like a god. He's with all the celebrities. Hillary, she's with Weinstein and all them cats. They all hobnob together, right? So that's one click they got. Then they got all them Wall Street guys. They're all friends. They're all sponsored. Trump called it. He's like, yo, I gave money to the left and the right. I own them dudes. That's how this dude won. He had a story to tell. He was interested. Same thing. They're still doing the same thing. Like you just said, once they get in power, their focus is not on you. Their focus is on getting that money. How do you get that money? Make sure you take care of your guys on Wall Street because they're the ones who are going to contribute. Hey, guess what? You also have some information on the inside. You can do some because the senators and congressmen they can play the stock market.
Right.
You know what I mean, it's not like the presidency. The presidency has to go into a blind trust, and you can't The only person who's ever defied that is Trump in his own way, because he basically said my kids will take care of my business. I don't know what they're doing, but it's still in his family's hands. But senators, that's how they make so much money. Look at McConnell. McConnell is from Kentucky. Man, and that dude ain't got, he doesn't have a
Nothing.
business. You say, oh, yeah, I wrote a book, blah, blah, blah. That dude's, I think he's worth like 23 million
Right.
or something like that. You can
Right.
look it up. They play the market. They know what's going on. These guys come, they tell them like, hey, listen, if you support this bill, blah, 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 just make this play on this stock, da, 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 boom, another mill, you know? So there's a lot going on that people don't even understand, man. These dudes are not about
No,
you.
no. They just want you to get them in. Once you get them in, they just go from there. They forget about
Yeah,
you. Like I said, for like the
for
3, 4
sure,
years,
for sure,
forget about you, go on with their own life, and then come back later and telling you, I passed this bill
for
and I
sure.
stopped. That's what they do, right? They go back home and they say, listen, I stopped the Democrat from passing this crazy bill that would have done away, or I stopped the Republicans from passing a
Yeah,
bill that would have put your grandma in a nursing
yeah,
home and no Medicare,
yeah, yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
nothing.
Or they tell you they tried
Yeah,
to
everybody
impeach
just
Trump. What's that do for
man,
what's that
fuck
do
out of
for
here
my
with that,
bank
man.
account?
That don't help me. That
I
do
don't
nothing for
care.
me, man. So but
Yep. That's why Puffy is saying
right.
what he's saying right now. Diddy. He's like, yo, what you gonna do for me? I mean,
Listen,
what are you gonna
I'm
do
not
for
even
me?
asking them
That's the
what you're
bigger
gonna do for me
question.
because you can tell me anything. What you right? I'm not even asking them
Right?
what you're gonna do for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what exactly you're gonna do. Like what can you do? Forget what are you gonna do. What can you do? Because every single politician tell you what they're gonna do for you. You know what I'm saying? What they will do. But the fact is when you
Right,
get there, can you get it done?
right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the beautiful thing about Yang's campaign. He
It
made
was
it
clear
so
and
clear what he
simple.
was gonna do. I'm gonna it was clear and simple. And it was people be like, oh, he's a one-trick pony. That's all he's got. No, it wasn't all he had. He had like 160 something policies articulated, and they all fed off each other. But he never got enough airtime. But the beautiful thing about his candidacy is, of all those people running, he's the only one that's still relevant. This dude, by himself, he raised about $2 million, gave it to families in the Bronx. Like I think a thousand families in the Bronx got like
Man,
a thousand
respect.
dollars
Man,
from
respect for
him.
that.
That's before. That's before. I mean, we gave all the Yang Gang gave some money. You know what I mean? And then from there, we who could give the members of the Yang Gang that couldn't didn't have money or were affected by COVID, they got like 250, 250. Like you could see them, people would be like tweeting like, oh look, I just got 250 from
Right.
Yang, right? So while he was doing this, people are like, damn, this dude's really on it. So what happened? Boom. What's my boy that owns
Jack.
Twitter?
Jack.
Jack Dorsey. Jack is like, yo, I'm pulling $1 billion out of my other company, Square.
Uh-huh.
You know, Square,
The
the
POS
card.
company.
Yeah, yeah. He pulled a
Right.
$1 billion cash, bro. We
We
got to
will.
get there, man. Like, yo, I might be able to pull you
We
10
will.
G's or
Let's
something, but
go.
like a bill?
Listen, I was just looking at it. My man Joe Rogan
No.
makes 30 mil a year on his podcast. You know what I'm saying?
That's nice. That's nice.
I
That's
just
a
give me
healthy
just give me
amount of
1%
cash.
of that for my salary, man. Just
Yeah, yeah. That
you know what I'm saying?
that
That's
that's
healthy right
healthy.
there,
That's
man.
healthy.
That's loaded right there.
That's
So we
healthy.
gotta get there.
Um, and he ain't doing much. Joe just kind of lets people be themselves. You know what I mean? He ain't like he's not like super entertaining, but he's just a chill
Just let
dude,
you
and
talk.
people like
Just
him,
let
and
you
he lets
talk.
people,
That's
yeah,
it.
let
Bring them
people
on there, just
talk.
let them talk.
But exactly. So, anyways, so Jack Dorsey does that where he takes $1 billion. He's like, okay, right now I'm spending money on things to help
Right.
COVID issues. But as soon as that ends, the rest of this billion I'm gonna give to people like Andrew Yang, and we're gonna run a UBI for they'll come up with some kind
Right.
of criteria, right? And spread that money. As he's doing that, another group came to him, like Ariana Grande, a bunch of people. They came up with $100 million
Mm.
pot of money. And like right now, if you on like Snap, apparently I didn't even know, but if you're on Snap, there's an app for Snap. You know what I mean by Snap? What do you call it?
What, Snapchat? Oh, I'm about to say.
No.
Oh, yeah. Snap, the
Welfare,
welfare
like
thing. Yeah.
yeah. So nowadays they have an app. So what they did is this group of, I can't remember what they called it, but they raised $100 million, and they brought, because of Andrew, he put that whole team together. A bunch of celebrities put money in it. Some corporations put money in it. They're shooting for 100 million. I think they've raised like 50. So all these women and families on Snap were able to just like press a button on the app and apply for it, because you could basically say, hey, listen, I'm on Snap and I've lost my job. That's all you got to be able to do. You press a button. Literally, he was on CNN. One of them ladies, like she was a TSA agent. She's on Snap. Now the TSA, nobody's flying. I mean, like I heard a statistic a year ago today, 2 million people were checked by TSA. Today it was 100 and something thousand.
Wow.
Think about that. From 2 million people being checked at TSA at the airport to 100,000. That's crazy. Like the airports
but 100,000 is still a lot, though, considering what we're going through. But are you talking about, okay, you said today, so that could mean just because we've had all this new state coming back up again. Because I'm pretty sure by the weekend, though, it was probably like about half of that.
Yeah, but even though most of us are not moving because our jobs don't call for it, but all these government people, the labs, the people who work for, the guys who run grocery stores and go. You got to keep the grocery store stocked. Them dudes are still working. So there are people who are moving. But 100,000 is like, who are these people? But yeah, people are moving. But yeah, anyways, the lady worked for Snap for TSA. So when she got laid off or furloughed or whatever, she just went home. Was like, oh man, there's this thing on my Snap app. Not Snapchat, but the welfare app. And she clicked it, and she clicked it on a Saturday. On Monday, she had $1,000 extra in her account from the Andrew Yang initiative. So that's the beauty. All of this story was to say this dude is so relevant still because he was a visionary, as opposed to, say, Kamala. The only reason Kamala is still relevant is she's a senator. Ain't nobody heard from what's that guy's first name again?
Pete
Buttigieg. What's his first?
My man Pete.
Buttigieg?
Not my Pete.
Yeah,
but
Pete.
Pete from South Bend.
Nobody.
I got a buddy Pete. My homie Peter Pablo.
Yeah. Dude, Pete ain't even got a job no more. Like Pete ain't even mayor no more, dude. So he's not even.
His term was over?
No relevance. Yeah, his term was over during the election, so he didn't run for mayor again. So he don't even got that.
But does he have a book coming out?
Them cats, man. Oh, he's gonna have He's probably gonna end up with like a TV show on MSNBC or something like that. They're gonna give him something, If Biden doesn't win and he doesn't get a cabinet position, he's gonna end up with like something on the left, like
Joe?
A TV show or something,
Oh, I'm about to say, yeah, Pete's definitely.
No, Pete.
I'm surprised he hasn't even hop on yet. But then again, it's possible that there's a position up for him waiting if Joe wins.
Yeah. They're waiting for all them cats are probably waiting for Joe to get in and then name them into something. Those conversations were already had, man. Like, you don't just quit your campaign one day and the next day you're like, Joe for president. Come on, man. You gotta at least, it's like losing the Super Bowl. You're gonna, like, even as a fan, losing the Super Bowl, I remember when the Colts lost to the Saints, it took me at least a couple of days to be like, all right, I'm good. So imagine losing the presidency and the next day you're like,
right.
Patriots forever. Nah. So those conversations were already had for them cats to be like, next day, boom, Biden. Nah. So they will get position.
Look forward
They
to
will
seeing
get
what happens, man. I'm not sure if Joe's gonna win, of Donna's gonna win back to back. You know, and then it's gonna be like, you know how he is, man. Listen, you know I follow him on Twitter. I love talking back to him. I think Donald is it's a funny dude. You know, I just love his bravado, man. I just
it's people like you feeding this fire, man. Like I don't understand why are people, well, if you're not a supporter of Trump, like if you're not voting for him, why are you following him to troll him? Because he's still getting them endorphins no matter what. Like he's getting them likes, you know, he loves that. And then he's getting chat. This dude always want to be the center
absolutely.
of conversation. He doesn't care if
Yeah.
it's good or bad. He doesn't care if it's good or bad.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, we
Show
follow him
business,
because
man.
you always want to follow people that got things to say. So because it's either gonna be funny or interesting. I mean, come on, man, just come on and start calling Joe Sleepy Joe. You know, he's lethal and I
Dude
love
is
that.
lethal, man.
Look, man, I just
He's
love his
lethal,
style
man.
because we haven't seen him before. Getting his way. And you know, in America, that's one thing about America, man. Like today I was looking at it. You got all these dudes with guns going up in the into the government office in Michigan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Michigan.
So I look at that and I just laugh because I'm like, what other country can you do that? And we all know, also only one race can do that, even here in America, right? So those things just baffle me because you cannot confront these folks and tell them, if a bunch of black guys get a bunch of assault weapons and go into government office, they're not coming out alive, right? And they'll probably be like, no, they'll be fine. No, they will not.
It's kind of like Chappelle had a joke about that. It's like, what can African Americans do for America,
and
for the country to move us forward? He's like, every able-bodied African American should go buy a legal firearm.
They definitely will.
They'll change the laws.
Can't let them Negroes have nothing.
I'm like, I mean, not to be, I mean, I have love for everybody, and I can see past the power struggles. I mean, it's just life. It's just humanity is the way power is. Power is never given. Power has to be taken. You know what I mean? So when I see a group of people who have power,
right.
Why would you give it up? You know what I mean? Like, why would you give it up for the love of my heart? Not really. Like the way systems work is, when you have power, and I've dealt with these guys in the oil and gas sector and all this, it's all about network. And most of the time your network is the people who look like you and do things like you and live near you. And that's why that power is kind of stuck, and it's not even for everybody. Like within that group, there's people on the top with the power, and there's many people on the bottom who ain't got nothing. They're not part of the clique. So when people are like, "Oh yeah, white privilege," that's arguable because not every Caucasian has that power.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even within that group,
there's levels to everything.
There's levels to everything. Put it that way. There's levels to the game. So, but if folks want power, we gotta have it. We gotta have a plan. We gotta come together as a community, and build it from the ground up.
I'm with that. I think we all gotta come together, find the right candidate, support our community. If you're out there with money, put some in your community. You know what I'm saying? Donate to charity. Find the right candidate that actually fits what works for you. Like we said, man, you can ask all the time, what can you do for me? Answer those questions. So there's some questions that I feel like we shouldn't ask because all it does is lead to no, it does. It's like when a woman asks a man, how many bodies do you, how many body counts do you have? Or how many women have you slept? I'm like, why are you right? Why are you asking this?
Do you
listen,
really want that
questions that
answer?
are automatic lies? I don't care what you tell me. Questions get you automatic lies. No one tells the truth unless they're a virgin, right? Unless they're a virgin, you are not.
And even if
Right, they
they're
tell you they got
virgin, they
body.
tell you they
They got
had at
some
least
body. I'm
seven.
like,
Say at least
so
seven.
politicians like, what are you gonna do for me if you want my vote? You just setting yourself up to be lied to. Like honestly, just look at
No
the
doubt.
lies that they put up
No
on their
doubt.
website or what they're gonna do, and just find the lies
No
that
doubt.
best fit you. Just be like, listen, I know you're lying to me, but
Yep.
okay, like my boy Vic. He knew that one girl was lying. He knew she wasn't. He knew she wasn't good looking, but that's my dog. He doesn't care. He was like, listen, everybody needs love too, right? He didn't lie to himself. He didn't lie to me. He didn't lie to you. He didn't lie to none of us. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Vic. You know what I'm saying? He's a change man now out there doing his thing, man.
Yeah.
That's my guy,
That's
man.
what he said. I don't know.
He stay in charge these days, man.
Hey, what is the NBA doing though? Like for real, like what is gonna go down
Man,
with
that right there is not a whole new conversation that we need to have. I got some questions for you. We're gonna get into that. But first, we gotta take a break, commercial break. Get some music playing. I gotta sip on a little drink.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta get myself recalibrated.
Oh, you gotta stay
I
hydrated.
got this drink, man. I got sponsors, man. So I gotta try this drink. You know what I'm saying? So I can make sure which one of these drinks I'm gonna put on here so I can get paid. I mean, you're not paying me, so somebody gotta pay me. You know, somebody gotta pay me for
Hey,
the
you
time.
gotta
So
pay me.
listen, man.
Sure.
This is fun. This is good. Appreciate y'all listening to Point Noted. Catch me on Twitter at PT Noted. If you got a question, tweet it. Hit us up. You've been listening to Johnny B. And my buddy OC's on today. We talking about everything. So if you like the show, please follow and subscribe. And also, before we head out, man, anything for the good folks out there?
Man, we out here.
Stay
Listen,
safe.
Everybody's got to stay safe.
Right.
Just stay safe. Stay smart.
Keep the mask on.
Right. Stay prayerful.
Right.
Yeah. Keep the mask on. And government, get your mind right. Get some money into people's hands, man. People need money.
Yes,
People
sir.
need money to stay home, buy groceries, take care of their shit.
You heard it. Point noted.
That's it.
You got the point. You've been noted. Let's get it cracking, y'all.